Okay, let's look at one more argument that relies on the inference to the best explanation. And this argument is one you actually read, the William Paley argument, the teleological argument, the watch and the watchmaker. I think this was the fifth or sixth argument you evaluated as part of your thought primer. So Paley's argument can be broken down into just a couple of premises. Premise number one is this. The universe exhibits an apparent design. That is the ordering of complex means to the fulfillment of intelligible goals, ends, or purposes. We've usually found a purposive, intelligent will to be the cause of such design and order. Therefore, it is reasonable to conclude that the universe was caused by a purposive, intelligent will. Okay, so a couple of things we want to take note of here. If those premises are true, they do seem to lead to the conclusion. Is it true that the universe exhibits an apparent design? Right? When you look out at the universe, does there seem to be an ordering of complex means that come together and cause other things to happen? Does the universe seem to be chaotic and disordered, or does it seem to be ordered? Okay, so if you accept that first premise, I would imagine you would accept the second premise as well, because it is the case that we do usually find a purposive, intelligent will to be the cause and design of really complex orderings. Yes, sometimes things happen coincidentally, and we recognize an order in something that wasn't designed to have that order. But Paley's banking on us thinking about things like watches. When you find a watch and you see all of those complex interworking parts, it's hard to imagine all of that coming together by sheer chance and coincidence. So Paley's relying on us accepting this idea that because we usually find there to be some sort of intelligence behind designed things, that we'll draw the conclusion that the universe has these design features in it that should lead us to this conclusion that it was also designed by some purposive will. All right, so these arguments that rely on the inference to the best explanation, they're not without their weaknesses. All arguments have their weaknesses. We could criticize Paley's argument about the watch and the watchmaker by saying, well, are watches and universes really similar enough to be compared here? Right? You're saying that because something is true of the watch, that it has a maker, that the same must be true of a universe, that it would also have a maker. Are watches and universes similar enough in their fundamental features to be compared that way? Are you doing, Paley, the same thing that we accused others of doing? And that is taking features of things in the universe and extending those features to be part of the universe itself, right? So watches exist in the universe. Watches have creators. Does that mean that because the things that exist in the universe have creators, that the universe itself would have a creator? Or have we committed the composition fallacy again? And can we really know how worlds are made, right? We've never actually judged or seen for ourselves how worlds are made or how universes are made. We have seen watches, but we don't know how universes are made. So can we really draw a conclusion about how universes must be made based on no knowledge of ever having experienced a universe being made? And as far as probability goes and the fine-tuning argument, yes, the chances of the universe and all of its features coming together in exactly the way that they did are almost impossible. It's near zero that this would have happened by sheer chance. But you could also, what are the odds that you'd be sitting here listening to me right now? I mean, really, what are the odds? If we went back 20 years or 18 years or however old you are, we went back and you were 1 year old and we said, what are the odds you're going to be sitting on whatever day it is or whatever time it is, listening to me yammer on about you? I would imagine those odds would be pretty high. All right, so evaluate these arguments and see if any of these is clearly rising above the first cosmological argument that we ranked as a 5, or clearly falling below and not being nearly as compelling. And as you start to, if you start to see differences in your scoring, that may indicate kind of where you're oriented in this question about God, and importantly, what kinds of things you find compelling in looking for your answer to that question.